the nature of prayer is the recognition of two things. One, the utter dignity of personal need. I pray, when I pray, I ask for everything. Number two, it's the realization that cosmos is not just the infinity of power, but as I wrote Cynthia Bourgeault, right, a decade ago, right, it's the infinity of intimacy. And Cynthia got so excited about that formulation of the idea, she gave a beautiful blurb, right, to the Unique Self book and wrote me a very important letter that we'll talk about, which I actually cite in the footnotes. But it's this understanding, and Cynthia just wrote a new book on the eye of the heart, which is a really good book, and she wrote a great book on Mary Magdalene. It's the understanding that the cosmos itself is literally intimate, right? It's a series of coherent intimacies. And not to understand that is literally not to understand the nature of reality. And it's the essence of science. Stay with me for a second. I want to say this in a new way, a way we've never said it before. If you don't understand the intimate universe, science makes no sense. What is science? Science is not a photographic picture of reality. That is not how science works. We know a lot more about cognition these days. From Kant and on, we've understood in the philosophy of science and the practice of science that science is the subjectivity of the scientist, meaning the interior, intimate capacity, structure, configuration of the scientist, whose inner heart mind imagination is intimate with the inner heart mind imagination of reality, which enables us to manifest physics. And the unreasonable capacity of abstract mathematics is an indication of the intimate mutual participation of the subjectivity, the interior of the scientist in the interior of reality. Did you get that? Without understanding that the universe is a series of intimate configurations of coherence, allured together, and that a unique self is a unique expression of that configured intimacy, and that the mind of the scientist, right, is that configuration of intimacy, right, mapping, accessing, participating in that same configuration, which is the interior face of cosmos. Wow. Who got that? Who got that? Who got that? I'm just going to go to the chat box. Who understood that? Did you get that? That's science. That's what science is. This is not a, right? The whole split between science and spirit, right? It's like, oh my God. Okay, so get it total. Krista, get it total here. Let's see if we can get it total. Like all the way, like, wow, right? If the interior mind, the mind heart of the scientist, right, wasn't precisely attuned, right, to the interior, intimate, configurative structure of reality, science couldn't exist, right? Science is always mediated, right? The science is not the scientist taking a picture. Oh, let me take a snapshot of reality and write it up in a book. That's not how science works. Science is the interior configuration of intimate coherence within the scientist, right, entering and accessing the interior face of cosmos, right? It's literally a peak experience, right, says Paul, but let's spell it, Paul, P-E-E-K. It's a peak experience, right? I'm getting a glimpse, right, through my own heart configuration, right, into the, right, that's literally a peak experience, right? We're playing peekaboo with reality. And it only works when you're madly in love. Science, a great scientist is in one way or the other, right, in love with his or her mission. Whether it's always expressed in the language of love doesn't matter, right? It's the curiosity. Curiosity is a face of love. And it's love that allows, it's love and imagination. Imagination and love are faces of each other that allows the configurations of science to emerge. There is no split between interior science and exterior science. That's just one glimpse, right, of the intimate universe. An amino acid, right, which configurations of amino acids create proteins, which are these unique configurations of relationship and intimacy, which are the building blocks of the cellular structure, who configure uniquely into multis, etc. You begin to see it? So reality is an intimate field. Right? That's what field theory is about. It's about the forces that cohere the intimate universe, right, and cohere the configurations of intimacy. So God, the God you don't believe in doesn't exist. God is not just the infinity of power. God is the infinity of intimacy. And intimacy means personhood. It means evaluation. It means discernment. It means choice. So the personhood of reality, the source of all intimacies, the infinity of intimacy, right, that lives in subatomic particles cohering uniquely, that lives in all of us who came together this week to be together as part of this revolution, and no one's extra on this set. Right? In this one mountain, there's many paths. Each of us are a path, and we come together, right? And we ascend together, holding hands to the one mountain to actually articulate the new source code, to actually take us through this 11th hour of history. We're expressions of that intimate field, that infinite intimate field. So when we turn to pray now, we're turning to the infinity of intimacy, which is the unique personhood of cosmos that is intelligent beyond imagination. Our intelligence and our capacity to hear participates in that infinite field of intelligence. And just like we hear each other, she hears us. And so every prayer, right, every detail, every jot and tittle of our lives, every flutter, every breath, every depression, every ecstasy, she holds it all. And we bring it all to she. And then we ask for everything. So first we bring her our holy and broken hallelujah. And then we come together and we affirm the dignity of our unique configuration of intimacy, our personhood, our personhood. We clarify our true needs, and we ask for everything.